Peace to the family. We out here. It's a homeschool opportunity before the NBA ball game. I know, she's such a distraction. I think you guys are right when you say, you know, they got to dress modestly because she's a distraction. And even though everything is covered up,
look at this.
Don't wear all them colors. Don't be so black. It's so beautiful. It's too beautiful. Look at this one. Look at this one in line with the beautiful natural hair. Look at, hi. That's what you got to say, hi. So we having a homeschool session right now, and we're going to talk about the Ptolemic period of ancient Egypt. Okay, we're talking about King Philip. We're talking about a 300-year run that took place in ancient Egypt. Okay, when we talking about the Ptolemaic Empire or the rule, and basically what we're saying is that there's Greek and Roman influence during that time. But the misconception is that the amount of influence that the Greek and Romans gave. What you have to understand is when people came to Egypt, they never came in to overthrow them and undermine what Egypt already had it going on. More rather, it was cultural diffusion in favor of the Egyptians. People would endeavor to inculcate their culture, but the Egyptian culture was so profound that they found that they would evade their culture, even though they may have conquered Egypt, and still incorporate Egypt's archetypes into their schema of things. So historically, we'll know how to make a distinction from one culture to the next, because the Egyptian culture took so much precedence around the world. It's very clear where people was getting their data from. Absolute facts. So right now, just going over a few things. This is an obelisk, or like we said, baby, Tahinu. This is an obelisk, right? But we know that the Romans and the people of Greece, they gave their influence. So that's why even the names of our supreme beings or entities or principles, we will find that they will add S's at the end of our...
You guys are very good looking group.
Thank you very much. He said we're a very good looking group. You know, that's what we started off with. That was AKA your wife is amazing. I wish I had that black woman. But anyway, you laughing? So listen. So what would happen is, right, we would have Horus, right? But we don't call him Horus. We know him to be Heru, right? Or Heru. But what would happen is they would add an S to it, so it would become Heris, which comes into Horus, right? And then you'll have Aset, right? Or Ast, right? Or Aset. But the Ast will become Isis, which becomes Isis. They always add an S at the end, right? So we have Ramesses or Ramses, and then they will have Ramesses. They will add the S to it, right? Or we have Usir, and then they will add an S to Usir, which will become Osiris, which turns into later Osiris, right? So they always added the S to the end of our Nechiru, the end of, and people falsely equate Nechiru to being God, so they think that the Egyptians had a bunch of gods. But the construct of God came into Egypt from foreigners. We had a different principle for what the supreme beings or principalities meant, and these were just actualities that transpired in the universe and in nature that we either anthropomorphize or we personify. And what that means is we attributed human character to things that were not human, so we can understand how it affects our world or our existence. So we'll personify the sun, which means, or we'll anthropomorphize the sun, which means we will turn the sun into a being to tell a story so we can understand how the sun impacts us in real life. The power of the sun was real. The fact that we call the sun an entity, that's also true. But is it a human being? That's false. So that's called anthropomorphosis or personification. When you give a person account or attributes of a person to something that's not a person, that's personification, right? So if I'm great, sometimes my goal is to become the personage of greatness. When you think greatness, I want you to see my eyes, nose, and lips, and you say, man, Polight is so great, he's the personage of greatness. Daddy's so great, he was my personage of greatness. Meaning if greatness has her eyes, nose, and lips, mommy's so beautiful that we may say she personifies beauty. See? That's how we use the word. You're so beautiful. You personify beauty. Don't get camera shy on me. So let's just go here real quick. This is an obelisk, right, or tajino. And what happens is with this, they'll tell you this: beyond the Nile, Egypt, in the classical world. But that's the first false. It's not beyond the Nile. First of all, the Nile River is the longest river in the planet Earth. And guess what? Our ancestors actually created or gutted out the land for the river to travel that way, because when you go to Egypt, you realize any major civilization always made sure they erected their civilization around water. And if they didn't have the water there, they gutted out the ground so they could place the water there so they could live or survive. So that's one. Two, they would use this. They would normally plate the top of the obelisk with gold or silver, one of those two precious metals. And the reason why they would plate the top of this with gold or silver, the very top, the reason why they would do that is because the light from the sun or the moon will reflect upon it, and people that were sailing would be able to see, and they would know as a point of interest where to drive, or where was the next destination, or where the kingdom was. So we would be able to find the kingdom based on that being plated at the top in gold or silver. Real deep, right? Put gold and silver at the tips, and boom, that whole thing would be plated at the top. And when the light hits it, bam, you actually got light, natural light from the sun or the moon. Real powerful.
It's cool.
Definitely cool, right? That's using your resources. It's about being creative. It's all about being creative. So, you know, they will tell you, yeah, shared culture, but we still would like to know who created that, who started that. You know, we got to always get the distinction right. Don't let no one just tell you shared culture and then you don't realize who's the fathers or mothers of it or the author of it. It's very important. So beyond the Nile, Egypt, and the classical world, and by the classical world, what they mean is Rome and Egypt. They like to call them classical. Beyond the Nile, Egypt, and the classical world. Yeah, now look at this. Now, when you see the wings, you see those wings?
Yeah.
When you see the wings by itself, look at that. That's dope, right? One thing I'm not going to lie about, when you in California or you in New York, and you go to these Met museums or the Metropolitan, I'm going to tell you this. They got the money to strictly enforce the culture, right? But when you see those wings by itself, that's called the Bayadette. Say it with me. Bayadette.
Bayadette.
It's called the Bayadette. Say it louder.
Bayadette.
The Bayadette symbol, you're going to see it on Chrysler. You're going to see it on certain vehicles. A lot of Egyptian symbols is everywhere. You feel me? And so when you see those wings by itself, they use it oftentimes. And what that symbol means is man, know thyself. Man can be inclusive of woman. Okay, we back. We got disconnected. We'll see if this works. If it works out, we'll keep it. Right? And if it doesn't, it's all good. We still got to do the knowledge, and we'll give the people a special walkthrough. But what I want to do is go by the stairs again, because we want to study the stairs as well. Because the stairs had the Bayadette symbol. What's that word?
Bayadette.
That's right, Bayadette. Bayadette. There we go. Let's go down to these stairs and let's catch that. Let's catch that. Welcome back, family who's coming on. I'm sorry for the interruption. It dropped. You know how that goes when we start doing the knowledge. It's going to drop. Gotta get the knowledge in. Right? So we gotta go all the way down here. And we gotta work our way back up. It's real ill how they did the stairs. Okay? I bet. I'll turn around. Now we see the wings, right? You see those wings?
Yeah.
When you see them on a horizontal, going straight across without any body attached to it, whenever you walk into the temple, that means man know thyself. And man is inclusive of man and woman. Man know thyself. That's what that means. So before you walk into any abode where the king dwells, where the empress dwells, you was commissioned to know who and what you are. All right? That's what that means. Keep walking. We're going to get it in. Keep walking. We're going to get it in. We back. You know that. Share the video. Okay. Then you also have the beetle bird in Kemet. And that's a bird that represents rejuvenation, rebirth, resurrection. It's reminiscent to that of the phoenix. Right? And then remember we was talking about Horus or Heru. And Heru is interesting because it's really Heru or Heru. When you put a U at the end of a word in the Medu Neter, that means it's plural. So that's where you get the concept of like where they say body of Christ. Because when we talking about Heru, we talking about a group of people with that attribute when you put the U at the end of the word. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize either. Okay, look at this view. Look at the view. This view is wild. You get so much out of this trip to the museum. Look at that amazing view. Pretty dope, right?
Yeah.
You know they're gonna, you know the stream interrupted. I ain't spooky, but dang, I was cooking. I was pissed off. All right, where we go? We in here? We'll come back and we'll get it in again, though. Just look. You said here? I don't even know where to go. It's probably over here. Let's see. There we go. We in here. It's a whole nother world. Hey, baby. Sphinx. Let's just say Sphinx and Pharaoh Amasis the second. Sphinx. And this is very interesting. We're gonna build about the Sphinx soon. We're gonna build about the Sphinx real soon. We gotta do a class here just on knowledge. Got it? It says Egypt was the oldest and most imposing civilization of the ancient world, renowned for its invention of writing. You see that? Renowned for what? Its invention of writing. It's very important. Who invented writing? Egypt. Egyptians. Egypt was the oldest and most imposing civilization of the ancient world. They were known for what? For the following things. Invention of writing. See that? Your people. Us. So don't let someone tell you we have problems reading it. We are the ones who create writing. Invention of writing. This is why other people, when they came into Egypt, they would take off the noses, right? But part of that is part of the culture. To say you conquer somebody because you're stopping them from breathing. That's one of the other main reasons why they knocked off the noses. But a lot of times what they would do is appropriate their culture, impose their culture on us. So they change the complexion, or they make the noses thinner so it doesn't look like black people, or they'll take their heads off because the hair that was attached to the statue. They'll take the whole head off because the face had a big nose, face had a big lips, and then the hair was clearly a black person. So they're like, man, just take the whole head off. Facts. Because people were hating the fact that when they came, they realized it was black people running this. You did? This is what's really going on in the world. Right or wrong, family? So, Egypt was renowned for its invention of writing, its monumental pyramids and temples, and its knowledge of history, astronomy, mathematics, magic, and medicine. Now, you see, they said magic like it's real. They ain't say it like it's fake. They said we're known for what? The invention of writing, monumental pyramids. Let's switch it over. Let me read it from the screen. Renowned for its invention of writing, its monumental pyramids and temples, and its knowledge of history, astronomy, mathematics, magic, and medicine. Through this prestige, as well as trade of diplomacy, Egypt extended considerable influence on neighboring cultures throughout the Mediterranean and was, in turn, affected by them. This exhibition explores the complex interconnections between Egypt, Greece, and Rome over a span of more than 2,000 years from the Bronze Age to the Roman imperial period. But I'm going to tell you the part where we got to focus on is the Ptolemaic period. During the Ptolemy Empire, that's when it gets kind of crazy. Okay, we'll go through further, but you know, we gotta get this information. Let's see what kind of literature they might have here, or games. Yeah, I know you like puzzles, right? You want to get on? You want to get this? Just get a puzzle. I like the puzzle because of the images. I don't like the fact it says Eurographics on it. That's whack. Let's see what this one's about. It'll feed the mind nonetheless because of the imagery. But they always got some slick stuff they on, you know? Hieroglyphic alphabet. This ain't bad.
This is a mini puzzle.
Yeah, so let's get 2 of these puzzles.
We get it when we come out.
Alright, we get it when we come out. Let's see what else they got here before we... See, this is one of the most powerful women who ever walked the planet Earth. Hatshepsut. We went to a temple. Mommy and I actually went to her house.
Yeah, I remember I was actually sick that day, but when I went into the temple, I actually gained my strength.
So I remember it was a weird sickness, probably from traveling and eating eating food so foreign. But once she went into Hatshepsut's temple, and she's the only woman that's buried in the Valley of the Kings. She's actually the midpoint between the Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Nobles, I believe it is, because they got a place that's consecrated for all the kings. But her, she got the love, and she wore what's called a kabis. They're not showing it here. A kabis is like a fake beard, because she was showing respect for where the men normally rule. Now, many women actually ruled. Many women were actually considered kings, because kings wasn't a gender-specific term, right? So in their time, you can be a ura or a nisutet or a ruler. And a lot of times, if something happened to the men, the women were empowered to be in that position. There were certain circumstances where they didn't mind if the woman was in power or control, right? But the women still respected man's stance, strength, and disposition. But the women were not limited. So she's not the only female king. She's just the only one that they want to show you, since she's the one that carried the disposition like a male. You feel what I'm saying? What's up, King?
Nice to meet you, bro.
Oh, nice to meet you.
I watch your shit all the time.
Oh, thanks, brother. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, get the pitch. What you gotta do? Yeah. I got you. But yeah, it was a great trip, right? I love Polight, and he helped me get my credit from 500 to 750 quickly. Love the king. Thank you. Thank you, Curtis Barnes. Appreciate that. Let's see. Fun with hieroglyphics. I want to know if there's any education here, or if we just playing games. Open that for me. Let's just see if we playing games here. I ain't got no time for them, just games. We want to make sure it's factual, that they're not making up stuff. There could be a better translation for that one. Ink pad. Fun with hieroglyphics. Let's see. Showing the Alexander. Nah, it's too much Roman Greek. That's trash. All right, put that up. We out of here. Egyptian hieroglyphics for complete beginners. Nah, I got better books. We out of here. we don't get the puzzle, so you can work your brain and have those images here. That we will do. But today's exhibit, they're showing the cultural diffusion amongst Egypt and Greece and Rome, so they're gonna mix it up quite often. How you doing? Okay, so here we go. This right here. You know what's key to look at? Where they put the BC there. That's how we're going to determine different eras, right? That's before Christ. Now the thing is, sometimes you might see BCE there, and then that's how you can tell who's telling the story. Because like if Jewish people are telling the story, they say Christ never existed, so they're going to call that before the common era. They're going to say most people are making a mistake, so they'll put BCE there, right? Which I dig it, because we don't subscribe to that. So it's just important to know who's telling the story, because based on who's telling the story, that's the narrative, right? So based on who's telling the story, they're not going to really tell the story to their disadvantage. They're going to tell the story at an advantage most times. Like America went to war with the Canadians. It's called the American-Canadian War. America lost that war, so you don't learn that in school. You feel what I'm saying? America lost the war between the Canadians, so we don't learn that in our school books, the American-Canadian War. You go to Canada, you may learn that. You ain't gonna learn it here, because America tells the story and they administer the curriculum, so they're not gonna teach you their lowlights most times. They're gonna be a bit biased when they communicate to you the ideas. So depending on who's presenting this, if they have a more Greek or Roman influence, they're gonna be inclined to probably undermine some of the Egyptian information. You dig what I'm saying? And probably suggest that some of their information came from them when it's actually vice versa. You dig it? Because that's like anybody tells you. You get into a fight, you ain't really say, and then he punched me, and then he kicked me, and then he headlocked me, and I tapped out. You probably gonna switch it a little bit, right? You're not gonna remember all the bad things that happened. Okay, ship models from the Egyptian tombs. Okay, cool. And I'm gonna tell you how wildly disrespectful this is sometimes, from a perspective. They take this from the place where the people had it and bring it to us. But this is a model. Hey, we back. Great. We back. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Found in Egypt. Minion vessels found in Egypt. Okay. Imitation of minion. Okay, so these, I want to get to the stuff that actually come from Egypt, but these are model forms, okay, of jugs and cups that they had thousands of years ago. But these are models, okay.
Yeah. They used to look like that.
What's that?
They used to look like that?
Yeah, that's what it means. Let's see if we can find something that's thousands of years old. That's what we came here for, right?
Yeah.
You know, we want the good stuff. We want the juicy stuff. Come on. Let's see. We want the good stuff here. Okay. So this is showing you. This is deep. I'm gonna show you what's deep about it. Come on. Okay. Now, I'm gonna tell you what's deep. Remember I told you, when you came and you looked to conquer Egypt, Egypt wound up conquering you culturally, because their culture had so much strength and took so much presence. So when you look over here, right? Look over here. It's your turn. Look over here. This is Egyptian, right? Then what happens is this. This is Greek. What do you see that's similar? Does it look similar? There's some similarities. What do you see that's similar? What looks similar? The hair, okay. That's an actual headdress most times that they may put on it. But that looks similar, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Anything else look similar? Okay. What else looks similar? What they standing on, maybe? Okay. Now I'm going to show you something. When you go on the walls of Egypt, when the words go inside the wall, where you could put your finger in between the letters, that means that was the ancient Egyptians. When the words come outside the wall, that means it's the Greek and Romans. I can show you a wall in Egypt that's hundreds of years apart from each other, because one side of the wall is flat and the other side of the wall protrudes. I got it on camera. I'm going to show you it when I went to Egypt. But when the words go inside, like you're going to see over here, you know that's Egyptians. During the Ptolemic period and post-Ptolemic period, what you're going to find is that the letters start protruding because the new culture came in, but they lost some of the culturally significant nuances that made Egypt versus them. So you got to know when the change comes in. Even when the words change, like when I said when they add S's to the words, like Heru becomes Heteris or Horus, Aset or Ast becomes Asis, User becomes Osiris or Osiris, because they add S's to the end of everything that they say. So over here, what you're going to notice is this right here is how we did it. And then next thing you know, you see that whole headdress and everything. Wow. This one influenced this one because this been existed prior to this one. Okay? So it tells you right here, look at that. The influence of Egyptian sculpture on Greek artists. Just like you see hip hop, right? We went to Hong Kong and it was still playing when we was in Hong Kong. And with listening to that music comes the clothes that correspond with that music, the type of words we use, type of walk, right? So when people listen, that's how culture works. People don't take one piece of culture. They take a whole bunch of other things that come along with it. All they got to do is be impelled to one part. And that one part makes them fascinated with all the other things that makes them interesting. So even thousands of years, the same thing is happening thousands of years later. People so interested in black culture that they start adopting it. Then they eventually want to become what? Like the black people they studying. You feel what I'm saying? They want to be just like the people that they studying or they have an affinity to. So same thing with Egypt. Egypt was so popular, so deep and so ahead with writing, with math, with science, that people wanted to just follow in the way of the Egyptians because they was like, man, they ahead and we love their culture. And then what happens later is people that take the culture and not even give you credit for the culture that they took, from which it derives. That's what be happening. And the ones that's in power would take it and then lead people on to believe that they've been had the culture the whole time. So this is an example of the appropriation. You feel me? This is us, bow. The next thing you know, it turns into that. But it doesn't say inspired by Egypt. You feel me? So it's a form of plagiarism. You dig? It's okay to be culturally influenced, but you should give credit where it's due, right? That's what I'm saying. That's a big part of history when you study it. The lack of accreditation. Okay? We're going to go. Oh, yeah, this is it right here. You got to do this. Now, watch this. This is where it's deep. This is real talk right here. This is dope. I'm going to tell you why. All right. So, look, you see how this looks right here? You see how everything's going inside? How if you put your fingers there, you can stick your finger in it? Yeah. That's Egypt. When you see when the words come out, that's Greek and Rome. That comes after it, after the Ptolemic period, right? So when Mommy and I went to Egypt, we was able to determine when the Greeks and Romans came in versus what's older. This is older because the letters are inside. It's newer when the letters come outside. When the letters protrude or they come out, then you know that's an influence. That's a foreigner attempting to do like them, but they slipped and they lost. They were at loss for the cultural nuance. Now look at the wings. You remember what those wings called? When you don't see the body and you see those wings like that, that's in every temple before you walk in, and that's called Be'edet. And that means what? You remember? Man, know thyself. This is on your Chrysler cars. It's on your Bentleys. They always using the culture everywhere you look. You know, CBS, ABC, either they using the all-CNI, the cars is using the wings. Egyptian culture is still very prevalent to this present day. So whenever you see these wings like this, that means man, know thyself. You can't go into a temple unless you got knowledge of self. That's what you was commissioned. Oh, I'm sorry. You was commissioned to have knowledge of self. Anytime you walked in, it's like saying, before you come in my house, you better have knowledge of yourself, because I don't want no ignorant person coming into my building. And that's why they got the word Hotep. Because when you come in, they draw Hotep like a table with bread on it. Hotep don't mean peace. Hotep mean an offering. Because if you come to my house for the first time, you should bring something to denote that you coming in peace. You contribute something to me if I meet you for the first time. And that's Hotep. And that's where the word Hotep come from. And that's why it's drawn like a table with bread on it. You dig? Yeah, and we should still practice that. You shouldn't be in someone's life without looking to contribute or add on to them. You feel me? That's what we're supposed to do. When you meet people, always think, how can I contribute to them? And hopefully the people that come into your life is thinking about how they can contribute to you positively, right? Because if they're not contributing, you're contributing, you're going to get drained. That's like a parasite. And that happens a lot. You're going to meet people in this world that just want to take. You got to get away from them as soon as possible, right? Because you're going to be drained because you're going to always want to give. And one day you're going to resent them. And before that happens, you want to still respect and embrace people and just understand that person's not for me. So you can still love them from afar, right? Yeah. I got family members I love from afar because if I get close to them, they take. And I'm going to want to give. And then I'm going to be mad at them. I don't want to be mad at nobody. So you got to cut it off quick before that happens. That's Hotep. Right? Okay, mommy got to do photo shoot time. Mommy with the photo shoot. We gotta get ready. We're gonna continue this because daddy gotta watch the game. We gotta do the homeschool. We gotta combine this situation. Oh, no doubt. I'm glad y'all learning too, man. This is what we do with the homeschool. We got many more exhibits to go. But come on, you gonna tell me, baby, you don't know these people are black?
Oh, look.
Look at this.
Look at the hieroglyphics.
I'm coming right now. You gonna tell me? Look at the nose. What I told you about the nose. What race you think he is? You think he Asian? You think he Italian? Or you think he black? What race you think he is?
I think he's Asian. I don't think. No. Black.
You can look at these people. This guy does he look Chinese? Look at his eyes. Look at the nose that probably existed. Look at his lips. This is a head priest of ancient Egypt, but look at that word, Ptolemic period, right?
Yeah.
Just like I told you. Come on, this is a black man's features. This is a fact. This is a black man's features. Look at this. But look what they're doing, because we got big noses. Why the noses is always missing? Didn't I tell you the noses is going to be missing?
Yeah.
Who's doing that? Look at this. All right, come over here. Come on, look at this hair. Who do you think this is? What is that hair symbolic of? This is a head priest. These are all the people responsible for inspiring people spiritually and culturally in there. Look at that face. Does that look like a little black child or a little white child?
Black child.
Looks like who?
Black child.
Yeah, it don't look like no white child, right? Now, somebody will say, that's not the purpose of this. You shouldn't just go around telling her everybody here is black. But it's just true. You feel what I'm saying? It's true. We'll be looking at this. This is a brother. Look at this. Look at that. Another head priest. Okay? Bearded priest wears a diadem, ornamented with a star. The gaunt face, furrowed brow, pursed lips, round eyes, and short hair impart a vivid appearance that epitomizes the hybrid Greco-Egyptian style of the 1st century BC. But look at that. Come on, look at that. See? You're gonna let someone lie to you? Look at the hair. Look at it. Look at all the design. And there we go. What you notice again? Come on this side and tell me what you see that's wrong. What part of the statue is a little disfigured or broken off?
The nose.
Say it again.
The nose.
So you see, I'm not lying to you. I told you before we came here. This is my first time in this one, and it's my first time at this exhibit. What did I tell you? The noses is going to be knocked off, and then sometimes you're going to see the whole head missing.
It's scary. Scary.
Of course. You feel me? But we got to go to what mommy was telling us, though.
Well, there's another one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's go. Mommy seen something too. But museums are always cool because it gives you a perspective of history that you can internalize yourself. You could be subjective, especially when it comes to art. And then there's just other things historically. No matter what someone writes under it, you got your own eyes and your own sense of feel to determine what's taking place. Portraits, what's that? Mommy was talking about.
Look at the hieroglyphics.
Mm-hmm.
They're three-dimensional. They're coming out.
Look at these ones. Now, is this the Egyptians or is this the Greco-Roman versions?
Greek.
Just say it again. There you go.
Greek.
Greek. And how do you know that?
Because the words
Yeah.
They're out.
The words are coming out. Say protruding.
Because the words are protruding.
There you go. That's what you say, protruding. And this doesn't mean it still wasn't the ancient Egyptians, but this means the influence of foreign people were in when you see it this way. So you see, that's another thing I told you about that I didn't know we was about to see. I'm on it. We got to come here and do the metal next. I'm on this. You feel me? I'm happy that this exhibit is here and it's going to be here this September 9th. But I want you to get some of the particulars straight. So when we come in here and you walk, man, can't nobody tell you no stories. You know what it is. You feel me? For real, I'm telling you, when it comes to history is grimy. People will tell you anything. But if you come in here with a certain level of knowledge and someone starts to say, oh, look at this. Look, we got it. What I told you. Come. Got him. What I told you we was going to see. What's missing right now?
The head.
The head's missing, right? Look at it. It's a part of, so I told you nose was going to be missing and whole heads. Sometimes you got to knock off the whole head. Brother probably got locks or waves, big nose, big lips. Yeah, just knock the whole head off. That's what they be doing. You feel me? So, watch this. I told you that was going to happen. Told you. Hold on, let me fix it. Told you that was going to happen. Told you they was going to knock the head completely off. That's another thing. I ain't had to be here to know that. That's how you know. We study in history and we got a good understanding. Now you know, before you walk in, you know what to expect, right? There's more we're going to teach about. Torso of a priest, because he ain't even got no head. Torso of a priest wearing a leopard skin. Fragmentary kneeling figure with Greek encryption. Yep, and this is, you look at these letters, that's Greek. In the style in which they put this thing together, you can see the distinction when you go to the other artwork. You can tell Egyptian artwork from Greco-Roman influenced culture. Okay? Let's keep going. This is exciting, right?
Yeah.
You're going to learn a lot, man. And then when you go to the country and you see it for yourself, you got a more profound appreciation. Oh, you're closed? Dang! It was about to go down over here. It was going to go down over there. It's okay. Thank you, sister. Oh, man, it was about to go down. We ain't even start cooking yet. All right. You have a good night, sister. You too, sister. Have a good night.
That's nice you're educating.
Oh, thank you so much, sister. Yeah, man. We get it in over here. That was good, though. Very good session. Let's get these puzzles. Let's get the puzzle. Pick out the puzzle you want. Get the mini one. We're going to get that and pick another one. We got to get on that tonight ASAP. Right?
Yeah.
We can't purchase that?
Main bookstore, my half that, might until 6.
Okay, where's that at?
The main entrance.
Just wrap around?
Exit.
Ah, man, I knew we should have bought it before we started.
Yeah, we close this 5:30, before 5:30.
What time you open tomorrow? Just in case.
Yes, 10 o'clock.
Okay, let's get it. Come on, baby. That's good. Appreciate you. Dang, what part of the hustle? They supposed to keep the store open to the last leg. You don't shut the store down before people leave and the doors close. If the doors are open, keep the store open. Man, I love this view. Take a picture of mommy from the view. Oh, I'm sorry. Your phone. This is nice. Beautiful view. Yeah. And Brother Polight. Brother Polight.
Yeah, a lot of conscious stuff, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be teaching. Definitely. All right, sister. Sister recognized me from YouTube. A lot of conscious videos, right? You taking your picture?
Okay.
Your photographer's is over there. I'ma just build. I think they waiting, so you good? I don't even know if you wanted to.
No.
get it back, we gotta come back because we didn't even get to go to work. We gotta come back and get it in. Look at that maze. Don't you want to go down there? Look at that. That's nice.
You saw the maze?
Yeah. I know you like mazes and puzzles.
I do love the maze, but I don't think we could go in it.
Man. Okay. Come on, baby. You... What time? 9?
So we open at 10 to 9.
So this is my first one here.
Yeah.
First run.
Been to the villa?
Nah. All right. We museum hop all the time. Thank you.
Wait, you didn't take the elevator?
I'll take the stairs. It's the aesthetics is dope out here. I'll take the stairs. Gotta take the stairs. I hear that. You're coming back. I know. I know you're not. I know how it works. I know how it goes. The same reason I want to take the stairs. You was about to tell me go in the elevator. Now I'm like, I want to take stairs. I want to take this stairs. We was going to be in the elevator.
I just remembered. So I said, okay, hey. Wait, it's not even here. I should have taken the elevator.
Yeah, the view is beautiful. What? Yeah, I know.
They rolled it up.
No, it's on the stairs. You got to go upward.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, when I went down the stairs, I'm like, where's it at? Then I'm like, duh. It's in between each station. Yeah. When you go up, when you coming down, you don't see it. It's cool. They made the stairs thin enough just so you can really catch it too. Yeah, don't worry. We're going to go super harder next time we pull up. We're going to pull up again. Second we get a chance. We'll pull up tomorrow. They said Saturday they close at 9, so we bring some sandwiches. Intermission, we go by the maze, eat, right?
Yeah.
You know, we can cook some food in the house. You make the salad, make me some quinoa. I make some angel hair with some okra and tomatoes.
Sound like a plan.
Sound like a plan. And we could just make a day of it and go super hard. Now that we could do that on a Saturday. But what we could do, we could build up. We could spend incremental amounts of time throughout the week, maybe twice out the week, and then Saturday is the ultimate build-up. Saturday, pop quiz time, what you learn, what you commit to memory, and we just clean up. Because we're going to study every single exhibit in here. Because when things get brought here, what are you talking about, rabbit? Oh, when things get brought here from other countries from afar, you want to take advantage of it because they brought some part of that country to you. That's why the museums are powerful. Because the energy from things coming back thousands of years being on this part of the world is a very powerful thing. Very powerful thing. Yeah, let's see if the store got it. And boom. Remember this? This is the obelisk or tajino. And they used to put gold or silver at the top, plate the top with gold or silver. And when the moonlight or the sunlight hit it, it would show as a light. That would be a great designation for people in boats. People in boats would know where to go, and people would know where the king was at, where the rulers, the king and the empress was at. Okay?
Yeah.
People would know because the top of that obelisk or tajino would have a gold or metal plate. So when the moonlight or the sunlight hit it, it would stand out amongst everything else. So they put a precious metal up there and plated the obelisk. Okay? Today it's like 13 major ones in the world, not counting the ones that's all over Egypt. And each one bears certain significance, but that's another conversation. That would start taking you into all sorts of Illuminati theories, and we'll talk about that when the time comes. Yeah, let's go. Hopefully we got some puzzles over here. That's interesting, considering the exhibit and everything I was saying. Still like an artist. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, this looks like some of the things we saw. See, where's the scarab beetle at? Scarab beetle is very important. didn't find that scarab. I get some. Let's see. Excuse me, you got any puzzles in here?
We sure do. I've got a selection of puzzles right down here.
Okay, great. Egyptian giants.
I don't see it.
Yeah, these are puzzles right here. I know. Let's see. You just gotta wait to come back, baby. The other store got it, right? Gotta get that with the matching chessboard with the Egyptian pieces. That's what we gotta do. It's right there. Yeah, this is kind of general and Greek and Romanish. We gotta get to that Egypt joint. That's where it's at. Right? Oh, good. This is it. Scarabaceous or scarabee. This represents the planet and the magnetosphere. I'll show you when you study biosymbiotics. And this is Bastet. When you watch the Black Panther, they talk about Bastet. Or Avengers, the first Avengers movie, they talk about Bastet. Okay, people definitely embrace the cat. So what happens is, when Cleopatra, who's of Egyptian descent, and Mark Antony got together representing the Roman Empire, Cleopatra came in representing the spirit worship or the principles of the cat. So you wind up with what? She had a holistic, they wanted to combine the Roman philosophy with the Egyptian philosophy. So you wind up with what? The Roman cat holistic church. The Roman Catholic Church. So that's why you see so much Egyptian doctrine in the Roman Catholic Church. Roman cat holistic. He won't be in it. I seen him scheming from there. Roman cat holistic. So you get the Roman Catholic Church. From the worship of the cat, amalgamated with the Roman doctrine. That's Cleopatra and Mark Antony. You'll notice the Roman Catholic Church principles come out of that wedlock, out of that wedding. Gets deep. But now we got to get into the religion aspect so we can see what's going on here. Let's get it. Keep that brain working. I can always see you thinking because your eyes get real focused. You see when you're thinking about things. I like that. I like the fact you thinking about it. You contemplating what's being said. Okay. Wait for mommy. How's the visit so far to this one? This museum?
It was good.
Okay.
Very good.
Baby girl's always off to museum. She be going by herself around the way. She go to the same one over and over.
Because
New
that's
exhibit.
the only one that's close to us and I can walk to.
I dig it. This is still amazing. This is not so far. You know, you live in Beverly Hills and this is this close. It's amazing. Very amazing to have this access to information. Another very good museum is the Met, or the Metropolitan in New York. I got a special library card that takes me downstairs where I can study some information right in the basement. It's real powerful. I go down there and do a lot of research. It's a very, very, very powerful card. The library card is a powerful card, especially if it's a library card that takes you to the bottom of the museum, where you can get access to print certain documents or scan a facsimile of a document. You know, we're gonna talk about what that is too. We're gonna get it in. Get it in. You know, the first trip is good because then I'm able to create a curriculum out of the first trip. Normally what I would do, I would like to go to the museum first and take a look around so I can give you some direction. But there's a walkthrough. And I wanted to see what they was talking about. And so we should go again together, do the walkthrough together, and then I'll grab curriculum ideas, questions and answers, and points of focus and interest. You know, we'll do it together since we broke ice together. Then on the second trip, we'll start really getting into the research aspect. We'll go home, we'll know what to research to make sure we on point. And then when Saturday comes, we're gonna take it to a whole next level, because that Saturday is a late day. So, you know, we're not playing around. We gotta deal with as much as artifacts as possible. What's up, baby? You know, I don't be paying attention where I'm going. I never get home in time if I'm that's not here helping me while I'm tour guiding. The museum, I don't even have to be in the museum. I can kind of know where we gotta go. But once we get out in the real world out here, dang, this much people. We should get some real food daily. We ain't eat that in a while. Want some vegan food?
Sure.
Of course. What other food is there? It's a trick question. We ain't had real food daily in a long time though, right?
Yeah.
There's more than one, but you know the one that I like.
Yeah.
That I like the vegan lasagna. Man, I can eat that. But I'm supposed to cook today. What time is it? Let me see how much time we got left before the game. If we got a little time before the game, I'll cook. But I mean, I'll cook if the game is on, because I can watch it while I'm cooking. But if we have time, even if I gotta miss a quarter or two, we can go and get some real food daily. Get some, let's see.